Hey, it's Dr. Fred. Hey, did you know that many health problems that we have as adults started from infancy, from the way our spine and nervous system formed and developed when we were just babies? Did you know that? Hey, when you're born with one curve in your spine. That's why kids are in the fetal position. That's because they fit in the womb. And then they begin to pick their head up, the cervical curve forms, and then they crawl, they get an arch in their back. When they have an arch in their back and they have three curves in their spine, then they stand and walk, develop the gait pattern, that's brain development, their nervous system is developing. Some kids never form the normal three spinal curves because in the first year of life goes from one curve to three curves, and when that doesn't develop right, you have stress and injury on the spinal cord right from the beginning. Now, what's developing when a kid is in the first few years of his life? Their immune system is developing. Now, when you have trauma during the delivery, just the normal delivery of the obstetrician pulling their head out, twisting them, yanking them out, laying the way they come through the birth canal, and many times in that prenatal position, just how they're sitting in the uterus, causes trauma to their spine. Spine gets misaligned. These are kids that have ear infections. These are kids with colic. Hey, when I was born, I was a complicated delivery. The cord was around my neck, wrapped around my neck twice, and with every uterine contraction, I was hanging myself. And guess what? I ended up with a ligament tear in my upper cervicals. I didn't know that. Of course, when I was young, my parents didn't know that. My mom was an RN. But what did I have? I was very colicky. And way back then, now we pediatricians give parents drugs. The pediatrician told my mom, hey, give him an eye drop or a Jack Daniels. It's not my fault. I swear it's not. Even though I like tequila, it's not my fault. So, and that's what they used to do to put me to sleep. And I was crying. I was colicky, had all these problems, ear infections, allergies. I remember having stomach aches and headaches as I grew up as a kid. And then when your spine doesn't develop normally, then you end up with injuries. I ended up in about 30 years old. I lost half the disc height at L5-C5. I had disc bulges in my neck and back. Why? My spine didn't form right, and it caused disc problems. Here I was in my 30s. Thank God, hello, for chiropractic, man, because I ended up fixing my spine. I don't have those allergies anymore. I don't have I have a rock-solid immune system, and my body is strong. So when your kids have ear infections, allergies, sinus problems, normal childhood disease, okay? Let's get that. The word normal and disease are used in the same sentence. Does anybody besides me think that's a problem? Normal childhood disease. You mean common childhood disease. You mean, hey, 1 in 2 people have heart attacks. It's common. Oh, well, you had a normal heart attack. Yeah. Well, 1 in 3 people, I think it's 1 in 2 women, 1 in 3 men today get cancer. Oh, no, that's normal. Yeah, no, cancer's normal. Yeah, every other person gets that. Not a problem. Yeah, we just have chemo radiation. Let's take care of that. Oh, God, 5-year lifespan. You know, in medicine, they consider you survive for 5 years. That's considered good. You're a survivor. You could die at 5 years in 1 day, but you're a survivor. Isn't that fascinating? So do you think there's a bit of a contradiction? Are we in a healthcare crisis? Because this isn't what your pediatricians are telling you about your kids. I had thousands, plural, of kids come in with ear infections, chronic antibiotics, right? And what do? I fix their neck, find where the bone's out of place, fix it, boom, ear infection's gone 24 hours. Now, as long as the mom didn't continue to give them antibiotics, they'd be great. If they got another one, adjust them, boom, pretty soon, ear infection's gone, allergies gone, stomach aches gone, colic gone. I used to have mothers walking in like this. Oh my God, my baby is 1.5 years and I haven't slept more than 2 hours in 2 years, And I'm like, adjust them, colic, gone. This is the way it works. Health is energy. Energy moves through your nervous system. There's trauma during the delivery, and even when it gets more extreme, check this out. During delivery, that's a normal delivery, a majority of newborns, a majority, not minority, majority, suffer from microtrauma, small traumas of the brainstem. Now the brainstem actually goes down through C1. Here's the hole in your skull. C1's a ring like this. Oops. See what happens here? What happens? Oops. That pinches off right at your brainstem, throws off your whole autonomic system, cardiac, respiratory, all that stuff. Microtrauma is the brainstem tissues in the periventricular areas. Consequently, the motor development cannot develop normally. These are kids with gait patterns. Guess what happens when your motor development doesn't develop normally? You know the cross-crawl pattern like this, right? Cross-crawl develops your brain. Kids that have improper motor development also have learning disorders. They can be dyslexic. They can have stuttering problems if they have motor disorders. They have processing problems. There's like, ADD. You think your kid, has a diagnosis of ADD. No, the kid's got a freaking headache. He's not colicky. His head hurts. Adjust his neck. Take the stress off spinal cord. Right? So later on, by the age of 5 or 6, they suffer with headaches, posture problems. Now, posture problems in a kid, you're really going to notice, nope, sit up straight, little Johnny. And Johnny always goes back to the same position because little Johnny can't sit up straight because his spine's not developing normally, which means his whole spinal cord's under stress, which Johnny probably has allergies, sinus problems, recurrent colds and flus, complains headache. Here's your Excedrin, take the Tylenol, let's just drug this all up, right? Now, I'm not dogging on you, but this is what healthcare, by the way, the third leading cause of death in this country, wants us to do, right? By age 5 or 6, they suffer from headaches, postural problems, diffuse symptoms, sleep disorders. Also, you're going to get nocturnal enuresis, bedwetting. How many kids have had come in bedwetting? Up to age 20 years old. And we adjust them. It's typically a problem in their sacrum, problem in the upper cervical, one end and the other end. They stop bedwetting. You know what a self-esteem of a bedwetter is? If you have a kid that's experienced that, they can't sleep over their friend's house. It's embarrassing, right? They develop self-esteem problems. What else? Being unable to concentrate. Well, your son, he's rather disruptive in the class. Yeah, so? Maybe he's bored. Maybe he's smarter than all the other kids. He's really a freaking genius, and he's freaking bored. So you get immune system problems. You get attention deficit problems. You get hyperactivity problems. Oh, man. And then their immune system is developing. And then what's the pediatrician do? Tell you to put him on antibiotics, but what he doesn't tell you is every time you take antibiotics, you get a 6 times greater chance of creating another infection. So you set yourself up for another infection. You create superbacteria, and most of you know that. And now what do we also know? Chronic antibiotic use sets you up for cancer as an adult. That doesn't even include vaccinations, childhood leukemia, all this stuff. So here we go. Let's go to the next study. Now let's see. I'm going to cite that reference because it's all here. Isn't that amazing? It's reference 8. What is that? Kinematic imbalances due to suboccipital, that's right below the skull. Stress in newborns from the Journal of Manual Medicine, June 1992. That's from the Surgical Department of the University of Wisconsin. Oh, that's a medical department, by the way. Oh, this is what medicine says about the normal delivery and the development of your child. I wonder why the pediatricians aren't recommending chiropractic for all kids. So here's another one. This type of trauma is also a cause of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. And what's that? That's where you go find your kid, they're taking a nap, all of a sudden they passed away. Well, these subluxations in the top part of your neck, bones are out of place, they're twisting on the brainstem, cardiac, respiratory centers, all that, shut down the heart and lungs. Isn't that amazing? A study of 695 infants, by the way, that's a pretty good population, had high cervical up at the top, mechanical irritation that could serve as a trigger in sudden infant death. I don't know, what am I supposed to do? Drop the mic? I would, but I'm using the mic on my laptop, so I'm not going to slam my laptop down. How come we don't know that? Why aren't all kids, newborns, checked in a hospital by a chiropractor? That's what should happen. And that would allow normal development of the spine, more normal development of the brain, more normal balance, more normal gait patterns, more stronger immune system. Basically, the health and the life of the child are totally different. Now, if you weren't checked and adjusted as a chiropractor and you haven't been to a chiropractor, or maybe you did, but they didn't take x-rays, or maybe they didn't look at bringing the curves back to normal, those same problems in your spine, you're still carrying them around. And then what happens? Well, if you have a weakened immune system, then maybe, allergies, sinus problems could progress into asthma. And this is what we see. We go through consultations with a new patient. Now they're in their 20s, they have asthma, they get in a car accident, they're in gymnastics now, traumatized crap out of their spine. They play sports when they're young, and in high school when their spine is growing the most, they have all this trauma. Spine develops abnormally. Some develop a mild scoliosis. Some, because of trauma, their leg lengths don't grow right. Now their spine is bent. They have problems with the curves. And then they wonder why, wow, my immune system's weak. How did I get irritable bowel? Where did multiple sclerosis come from? Why do I have allergies? How come I have asthma? Why do I have irritable bowel? And if you listen to these diagnoses, they're just naming the symptom, irritable bowel syndrome. Oh, that sounds bad. No, I have irritable bowel. Let's just abbreviate it because it's too many words. I have IBS. What's that mean? Yeah, I have alternating constipation diarrhea. No shit. That's why I'm going to see you. What's causing it? Well, take these drugs. You know how many IBS patients came in and got better? You know how many ulcerative colitis? That's where their colitis is so bad they're bleeding. You know how many of those got better? You know how many cancer patients got better without chemo? Because disease is an absence of energy. Energy is health. Energy in your body moves through the nervous system. Yes, and for all those people, yes, we have chakras. Yes, we acupuncturists, we have meridians. But it's all energy. It's all energy. But it has to come through your spinal cord, and you know that its chakras relate to different areas of your spine as well, right? So look at this stuff, man. Why isn't medicine telling you? So be under chiropractic care when you're pregnant, and the first thing you do after, and this is what my patient would do, they drive home from the hospital so I could check their kid. Guess what? Those kids don't have problems sleeping. Those kids, and when they're not vaccinated, because we get vaccination workshops and we actually tell the truth, they don't get sick like other kids. You hear the stories and the parents, and these parents, they may have brought their kids in with ear infections, but all of a sudden it's like, man, they don't get sick anymore. They don't have allergies anymore. Man, they sleep through the night. God, they're learning better. Geez, they pay attention in school more. God, the teacher can't believe the difference. And all of a sudden, the allergist, pediatrician, well, it must be a spontaneous healing. Your body just figured it out. You're right. It figured it out when we took the pressure off spinal cord, because God made a nervous system that can heal our body. So what's the bottom line? Bottom line is health comes from the inside out. And a lot of the health problems we have as adults, a lot of the health problems that children have, are from trauma during the delivery process. Bring your kids into a chiropractor. Make sure go to idealspine.com, go under resources, look under doctor directory, plug in the zip code, and look for a doctor that has studied the technique on being able to correct abnormal spinal structure and make it normal. And hey, go to a chiropractor if he's not a CBP, chiropractic biophysics doctor, but make sure they're going to take x-rays, look at your child's spine, and set you up on a program that can correct that, make sure it develops normally, and show you a post x-ray, a second x-ray to prove it. And now your kid will grow up with a healthy spine, healthy nervous system. They'll probably be healthier than you are. Well, maybe your whole family should go. So Anyway, for docs, Back to Health book, go to elitecoachingllc.com. You're in the general public, get this book. This is an awesome book. Go to Amazon, The Best Kept Secret to Heal Your Back Pain. And let's start with the foundation. A healthy spine and nervous system is a foundation of health and life in the body. Let's make that our primary health care. And the health care for the new world we're creating is healing energy, man. Energy healing. That's the new health care. We're getting out of chemistry and going into energy healing. All right, love you guys. Peace.